Judge Judy Trainwreck, take one.
Gotcha. I don't believe you.
Judge Judy. You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Sheindlin. This is Judge Judy. Jamie Cox is suing her former employer, Brian Richardson, for unpaid babysitting fees, the return of a Jeep, and pain and suffering.
Order. All rise. That's case number 30 on the calendar in the matter of Cox versus Richardson.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Cox, this is what I gather this case is about. You met Mr. Richardson because you both have children that go to the same school?
We do.
Okay, and your child is how old?
She's 6.
I'm taking you to Judge Judy because I couldn't.
And according to you, you made an arrangement.
I couldn't
with
sleep
Mr.
last night after I watched
that
it.
In exchange for babysitting for his 7-year-old daughter, that he would barter a Jeep that he had for sale for $1,500. That you fulfilled your end of the contract, and that at some point he took the Jeep back. In addition, you say you fully paid off the Jeep by working, and he owes you additional money for babysitting. Mr. Richardson says, no way. What happened was she didn't have a car, and I told her that she could use my Jeep if she babysat for my daughter, and she could use it for her own purposes. She stopped babysitting. I took back my car. That's your defense, and you also claim, in addition to the Jeep not being sold, but just loaned to Miss Cox, you claim 2 loans to her that
Yes,
she
ma'am.
hasn't paid back. Okay, so that's the case. When did you start to use the Jeep?
In the end of October.
And is that when you started to babysit for his daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. His daughter is 7 years old, so she's in school full time.
Yes.
When did you babysit for her?
He would drop her off first thing in the morning, about an hour to an hour and a half before school started. I would take the kids to school and then pick them up, and I would watch her for between 1 to 3 hours after school.
Okay, so you watched her 2 to 3 hours a day. Let's say 5 days a week. So at most, you watched her 15 hours a week. Now, when did you stop babysitting?
I stopped babysitting on February 12th. However, you're not taking into account on Fridays our kids have early dismissal. So Fridays it was longer, and then
All right. Okay. And in the meantime, you used the Jeep.
Yes.
All day long for
Yes, ma'am.
yourself.
Yes.
You went to see your friends. You used it at night. When you got a babysitter, you used it on the weekends.
Yes, ma'am.
You used it all day. Not 2 to 3 hours a day. You
Correct.
used it all day. Okay. And you did that November, December, January, and part of February.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened in February?
In February, I could not pay my rent. I had been evicted because he was not paying me my wages for watching his daughter.
Well, just a minute. So when do you claim, in your case, best case scenario, when do you claim you paid off the Jeep?
I had it paid off by January.
So in 2 months, you paid off the Jeep.
Yes, ma'am.
So in 2 months, you worked 120 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Just, I'm trying to figure out whether there's a logic to her complaint.
Yes, ma'am.
So in 2 months, you paid off the Jeep, and that's when he started to pay you?
He was supposed to pay me
He was supposed to pay you. How much was he supposed to pay you?
minimum wage, which is
You're making this up as we're going along. Don't make it up as we're going along. If you made it a contract, then you say he was supposed to pay me $8 an hour. Supposed to pay me $10 an hour. How much in this contract was he supposed to pay you?
$8.31 an hour.
Well, giving you the benefit of all the hours, based upon what you told me and what you said in your complaint, was Brian was selling his 1944 Jeep Laredo for $1,500 and he needed a babysitter. But based upon what you told me, you never worked off the $1,500. I used the hours that you gave me, not 2 hours a day, but 3 hours a day, times 5 days a week is 15, times the 2 months, it's 120 hours, times the minimum wage is $8 an hour, comes to $9.60. Add the 31 cents, it's nowhere near $1,500.
I also watched her Saturdays, a lot of Saturdays. Fridays were longer hours. I would watch her when he would go out. I have all of the hours that I've worked. I ended up watching her for a total of 277 hours.
So when he turned the car over to you, I assume that you finished working this off, because that was your agreement. You know, I don't believe this story for a minute. And then you were supposed to get paid. It would seem to me that a smart lady like you would have gotten the title to the car. Did you?
I did not.
You did not.
He always had a reason why he couldn't
No, you
transfer
always
it.
had a reason. But you kept going back.
I did.
You kept going back and you
Recently,
kept using the Jeep.
My daughter was being diagnosed with lupus, which is a horrendous disease.
I know all
needed
about
a vehicle. I needed a vehicle to be able to take her to the hospital.
Listen to me. I gotcha. I don't believe you, is my problem. I think you needed his car. He let you use the car, and he let you use the car for all of your purposes, with the exception of the time when you were taking care of your daughter and his daughter, going to school and picking her up from school. And then something happened. Now, he may have been smitten with you. I don't know. That's what you suggest in your complaint.
I
That
have
he
a
was
love letter from
I don't care. Don't you understand? I don't care about that. If you thought that he was smitten with you, then you shouldn't have worked for him, because you clearly have another boyfriend, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you shouldn't have worked for him. So if you took advantage of his being smitten with you in exchange for whatever, that's something that's for a whole other show. I'm telling you that I don't believe that he ever sold you and bartered the Jeep with you. Otherwise, you would have gotten the title when you paid it off. Now, you did take money from him. For what?
For payment.
No, just a second. You said you ran short on your rent. That's what you started to tell me. You ran short on your rent, and that happened in February.
I've been short on my rent several times. My heat has actually been turned off because he was not paying my wages.
Get another job!
I actually ended up getting another job, and then he took the Jeep 2 days before. I ended up getting fired from the job before I was even able to start.
If you weren't getting paid December, January, part of February, why did you keep working for him?
Because if I knew that if I stopped working for him, he was going to take the Jeep.
Take the
I
car.
had no way to get
They
my daughter
was
to the
going to
hospital.
take the car because that was your arrangement. You could use the car as long as you picked up his daughter from school and dropped her off at school. Go ahead.
Ma'am, she lives a block from the school. That's how I met her. I saw her walking her little boy to school to pick her daughter. Her daughter's in my daughter's class. And the babysitter I had smoked nonstop all day, and I didn't want my daughter over there, so I was looking for a babysitter. And I seen her walking to school, and I thought, well, you know, she needs a car. I'll let her use my car. She'll...
Well, you don't say she needs a car. You didn't know that until you started to talk to her.
Right, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you started to talk to her. And?
And I told her, I said, hey, I have a Jeep. You could use it, do whatever you want to with it. I'll insure it. I'll get plates on it in exchange for watching my daughter. Now, 1 hour in the morning and an hour and a half to 2 hours in the afternoon. Every other week, ma'am, for 9.5 weeks. She didn't watch her every week. I have split custody with my ex-wife. I have my daughter 1 week. My ex-wife has her the other week. So it wasn't all that. It was half of that.
I see. You left that out.
I apologize for leaving that out.
Yeah, you should have put that in. Okay, so it was half the time. So it was a period of 9 weeks?
Yes, ma'am, every other week. So 4 to 5 weeks is all she watched her total. And like I say, an hour in the morning, and I do visits in the afternoon. Okay.
That's fine. I got it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I want you to tell me about the money.
Okay, she watched my daughter for a total of 1 week to start with before she started coming up short on rent and needing it. So the first time she said, I'm $200 short. So I said, well, Jamie, I can lend it to you, you know. So I did. I had it in my pocket.
Did you know what kind of work she did?
She don't work.
Well, how does she support herself?
I have no idea,
How do
ma'am.
you support yourself?
I was working for him.
No.
Before that, I was a bartender.
A bartender for whom and during what period?
I was a bartender from the time I got to Colorado, which was in June of 2015, until October of 2015 when my car broke down. I worked in Colorado Springs. I live in Pueblo. It's about a 40-mile drive.
Okay, so you worked for 3 months.
Yes,
And where did you live before that?
Washington State.
And what did you do there?
I was a bartender there as well.
Okay. How much money in total did you give her?
$600, ma'am. That's the loan that I loaned her. I gave her money all the time. Whatever she needed, I gave it to her.
Like what?
Well, her coffee pot broke down. I bought her a coffee pot, her DVD player. I gave her $20 on 2 occasions.
We're not talking about
I mean, just 'cause she
shattering
needed-
amounts of money. DVD player you bought her or you gave her?
I bought it for her.
A new one.
Yes, ma'am. And a new coffee pot. I
And
bought
what
her
else?
a necklace. I bought her shoes. I bought her anything she asked for. I got it
Well,
for her.
Mr. Richardson, it sounds to me like you were more interested in her
Ma'am,
than...
she told me the first week that there was going to be no relationship between me and her,
That's
and I
what
was
she
cool
said.
with that. I just needed a babysitter.
Well, then why'd you buy her a necklace for?
Well, 'cause she,
Rent, I understand.
I mean, she's watching my daughter, and the kids need to watch I mean, I don't know. I bought it for her.
That's
She asked
ridiculous.
for it. I got it for her.
That's ridiculous. All right, tell me about the money.
Okay, like I say, ma'am, the first week, she hadn't watched my daughter 1 week and she was short on rent. So I lent her $200 the first time. Everything was cool for another month. Then she's gonna get evicted the next day, or the landlord's coming over in an hour and a half to throw her out. So I told her, I said, Jamie, I don't have that money in the bank. I says, I have some in my backyard saved. I'll go get it for you. And I did. I got it $400 for her and gave it to her. And she never has paid me nothing back.
Do me a favor, Mr. Richardson. Change the place where you keep your money.
Well, I had it. Okay, yeah. It's safe where I keep it.
Not anymore. Used to be safe. It's not safe anymore.
Yes, ma'am.
All right? Be smart.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
You told her you were going to pay her for the furniture.
Take two.
Cox says former employer Brian Richardson owes for babysitting fees, the return of a Jeep, and pain and suffering. Brian is countersuing for unpaid loans and harassment.
So the next time was $400.
Yes, ma'am.
What date was that?
I'm not sure the exact date, but I have it right here where she's wrote it on what she sued me on for the 400. She didn't mention the other 200, but she did mention 400 of it.
Can I see?
Loan right here, $400. She didn't mention the other 200. And I have a text message here, ma'am, that she even says, I thought that was a loan.
Just a second. Well, you indicate that he loaned you $400.
Yes, he did pay me $400.
No, didn't say paid. You wrote loan.
I wrote loan because it was not a loan. It was payment.
You wrote loan. This is what your out-of-pocket expenses. Groceries, you say, for 9 weeks. A car seat that was ruined. A stroller that was ruined. Thanksgiving, I provided $150, replacing what Brianna destroyed. That's your daughter, I suppose. Brianna is your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Credits, Brian paid $0. Handed me $20 on 2 occasions. DVD player, 20 occasions. Loan, $400. That's what you wrote. Loan, $400.
Yes, because that's what he was claiming that it was. So I even took that $400 off of here.
Good. Complaint is dismissed on the counterclaim.
Ma'am, I
I'm
have-
awarding you.
Ma'am.
I'm awarding you, sir, $400. We're done.
Ma'am, I have a police report about harassment, ma'am, that she was harassing me constantly. And I called the
Just a
police.
second. Did you file for a protective order against her?
Right here,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
May I see
Harassment
it?
order.
May I see it? Did you get a protective order
No,
against her?
ma'am, I did not get a
Why?
protective order. Well, the first time, one of her friends at school came up to me threatening to beat me up because I took my Jeep back that she was working off. That was the first, and I didn't say nothing about that first time. The second time, some lady comes up to me. I find out it's her mom. She comes up to me, Brian? I said, yes, ma'am. She says, I'm her mom's name, and she said, I want to tell you what a low-life piece of you are for the way you did my daughter. So that time I called the cops, ma'am, because I wasn't nothing
Why
but...
didn't you file a protective order? Not against her, because so far it's just her mother that harassed you.
Well, she was just down here visiting her, so she wasn't going to be there long anyway.
Complaint is dismissed. Judgment on the counterclaim for $400. We're done.
Ma'am,
We are done.
Why is that excused? You may step out.
he wrote me a love letter and bought me a diamond necklace before I had even ever met him.
I gave her the diamond necklace before she was my babysitter.
I baked him cookies and I returned the necklace the very next day.
I mean, it wasn't nothing big, you know.
Very difficult. I've almost lost my child 3 times because of this.
Very big mistake. Trying to be nice to her, and I couldn't believe she didn't want to give my Jeep back, you know.
I've gone into labor because I have to walk everywhere.
Be more careful about picking my babysitters.
And now, the next case.
All parties